race fans! Howdy, race fans, and you folks that have been watching know by now that the first movement of Mozart's 25th Symphony means that it is time for In the Pits. I'm StockCar Scott, and this is my little show about racing I like to call In the Pits. And thank you for watching, because In the Pits is brought to you because of a generous sponsorship from Monte Carlo Express Delivery. Monte Carlo Express Delivery, serving the courier needs of the Seattle area for the last decade. Please like us on Facebook. Okay, where did I start this week? I start like I usually do with Friday. I missed it. I had to work. You know, they got a TV at the place where I do a lot of my work, and I can watch practice and stuff on Fox Sports 1 there, but it doesn't have ESPN 2, ESPN 1, wherever qualifying was this week. So I missed it, but Happy Harvick was on the pole for the Dover 400 that they qualified on Friday for. The Toad was second place there in the number 18 Toyota. The old man, Jeff Gordon, got into the last round of qualifying again with the sixth place qualifying position there. And Junior, he was doing just good enough there Friday and qualified 25th for the race on Sunday. Saturday was lots of racing. First off was the nationwide race at Dover, a 200-lap race that they had there. Joker Logano was on the pole in the number 22 Penske Mustang. I do believe it was sponsored by Hertz, so it was yellow. It looked like a taxi. And Chase Elliott was on the outside of the pole there. And starting third was Ty Dillon in his Pop Pop's number 3 Camaro. Wonder Kid, Kyle Larson, started fourth, and the Toad started fifth. And the Joker and Toad promptly stunk up the show by dominating basically the whole race between the two of them. The Toad won the race. The Joker came in second. Of course, neither of them get any points because they're full-time Cup drivers. The highest of the nationwide points-getting drivers was Chase Elliott. So that helped him maintain his first position in the points there. But the other top 10 drivers there in nationwide also did real well. Elliott Sadler, I do believe he finished fifth, and Brian Scott, no relation to StockCar Scott, he finished seventh, and Regan Smith, Chase's teammate, finished eighth, and Trevor Bain, running for Roush in the number 6, he finished ninth. Ty Dillon in the number 3 there, he finished 10th. He got him a top 10. Larson, who's not getting any points there, he ran the race and he finished 6th. I guess he wanted a little extra practice there at the Monster Mile. But because all of the top 6 in points for the drivers there in the Nationwide Series ran so well, the top 6 points positions basically remained unchanged, with Chase Elliott in first, his teammate Regan Smith in the number 7 in second, Ty Dillon and his teammate Brian Scott in third and fourth. Fifth is Elliott Sadler in the Joe Gibbs racing car, and sixth is the number 6 car of Trevor Bain. So, on to Saturday night. Saturday night had truck racing at Las Vegas. It was a 350 was what the race was called, so I'm assuming that was 350 kilometers that race was run. It only took them a couple of hours, so that's why I figured it was that shorter version. Ryan Blaney was on the pole in his number 29 truck, and his best friend forever, Bubba Wallace, there was on the outside. In third, qualifying third, was Taylor Mawsum from Montlake Terrace there. He qualified third in a Chevrolet. And qualifying 13th was Bubba's teammate, Eric Jones, who was running in the truck that the Toad usually runs in. And what does that truck do? It wins. So Eric Jones won the race. Even though his teammate Bubba led the most laps, he was only able to finish second. And you know how it is when Bubba finishes second, he just gets all dejected and everything. It's just so, it's wonderful to see these kids and the way they're racing. I just love it. Okay, the points leader, Matt Crafton, finished third in the race, so of course that makes him still be the leader. Ryan Blaney was able to trade that pole position in for a 6th place in the race, and Taylor Mawson was able to trade that 3rd place in for a finish of 9th. I see that's pretty good for somebody who doesn't get a full-time ride there in the trucks. I was able to get around to watching that race late on Sunday night because I had to tape it Saturday. Saturday night I went south to South Sound Speedway. The weather was great, and it was championship night. Championship night part 2 it was. I got there a little late. I think I missed qualifying, but I heard some of the divisions lined up on points, it seemed like. So first up were some heat races, and some of the best ones were the mini stock races, heat races. That first one was really nice because the guy raced side by side there for side by side, 3 rows deep for all 8 laps. It was terrific. I think number 7 won the race, but it was still real close, and they ran real clean because they had to save their cars for the main race later. And speaking of saving his car, Dennis Schaefer really saved his car. He didn't even take it out on the track for the 2nd heat. He just skipped it and let the 2 other points guys there in 2nd and 3rd, Grant Charnetsky and John Morris, basically have their way. Gain them a little bit extra maybe in the points there, but it was nice to see Tina McMillan lead some laps there in that 2nd heat race, and that was really nice. But of course she was passed by Charnetsky and Morris as they battled very carefully to win and finish out their heat race. The other heat races, they were good, not quite as exciting as that first one though, with the 3 deep. That was a really nice one there. Okay, the first. Let me get me a drink here. Take me a quick. I'm getting through this so quickly tonight. The first main race of the lineup for Saturday night was the Bumblebees. They had a 20-lap main, and it was their championship. And the battle was amongst Will Ridenour in his number 19, Chris Brannon in the number 71, and Richard Wolverton in the number 95, who was able to battle his way up quickly through the pack in order to race with the other 2 fellas. Of course, the cone was set out in turn 1, and the cone basically told the tale of how the race was going to go, but something tells me that Kelly Hale, the announcer, didn't get the memo there. Sorry, Kelly. As you can hear on the video that I have of the race, he gets all excited when the cars go into the first turn and the leader washes his way up. Well, he washed up because he had to go around the cone, and so Kelly, after he did see the cone out there, settled down a little bit. But that's great. It was still some great racing. The 19 was able to win the race and the championship, making Will Rittenauer the champion there at South Sound for the Bumblebees for this year. 95 of Wolverton came in 2nd, and 71 of Chris Brannon came in 3rd, and because of that, he ended up second in points. Now he was leading on the last lap, but he had to take that go around the cone thing there on the last lap, and I do believe that's basically what lost him that race. But still, it was a really good Bumblebee race, really good division out there. Congratulations again to Will Ridenour on your win and your championship. Way to go. Hobby stocks were next, and they were dominated by the 34 of David Knittel. He won the race and the championship. He shares that championship with Dan Wheeler. Somebody can explain to me how that works out, that two folks share the championship, but still, Dave ran the race, led a bunch of laps, won the race. I mean, he basically dominated. Number 60 of Kelly Foster was out there, and he ran real well, and I do believe he probably finished up second in the points there, second in the race. 47 of Charles Mendors and Bumblebee driver 71 Chris Brandon were also out there, along with a bunch of others, a couple others, but Knittel just had a huge lead in the points, and he just, kept on racing and had, won the race. So he pretty much dominated. Now, he said after the race that, they thought that there were going to be a few more hobby stocks out there this season to try to make it a little bit more competitive. But that didn't quite happen. A couple of them dropped out during the season, but he was still glad to win the championship, and he was actually thinking about maybe moving up, so I can assume maybe that means street stocks maybe next year for David Knittel. So looking forward to seeing something like that. Congratulations for winning the race. Congratulations for winning your championship, Dave Knittel. The Vintage Modifieds also ran their touring series that runs cars from the 30s and 40s. Still have the bodies from those old cars. Makes some real interesting racing. That one was won by the number 22 of Bobby Wheeler. Be sure to catch the video of that on my YouTube channel. Okay, next after that was the Legends cars, the little cars that look like old cars, that run motorcycle engines in their cars. That was won by Randy Beddow in his number 12, and the number 24 of Tristan Hayter came in second, and that was good enough to win him the championship for the Legend cars there at South Sound Speedway. Fourth place was Randy Schaff, a Facebook friend of mine, so way to go, Randy. Third was Tracy Warren, and fifth was Rick McNeil. So congratulations for your wins there on Saturday night. Go out to Randy Beddow for the main win, and Tristan Hayter for winning the championship. Congratulations, drivers. Let me get me another drink before I delve into my favorite series. Well, at least one of my favorite series out there at South Sound, and that is the mini stocks. The reason that I was out there Saturday night for some good racing, and I do believe they started on points for the night. That was what I heard, and that put my favorite driver, the Warrior, Kevin Conway, back in the back because of all those races that he missed early in the season when he was convalescing. So he had to struggle back there in the back. But points leader, Dennis Schaefer, in his number 56 PT Cruiser, was right up front there with the main guys who were chasing him there. Number 21, Grant Charneski, and number 13, John Morris. They were lined up right there behind him, and it was a really good race. He led, I do believe, every lap is what Dennis did, but there was many restarts there towards the end of the race, and it looked like the guys had plenty of chances to maybe pressure Dennis into making a mistake, but he was cool as a cucumber there in the PT Cruiser, and was able to ride on to a win. held off both Charneski and Morris to win not only the main but also the championship. And there on the last lap, looked like that somebody was issuing a couple of paybacks there for either earlier in the race or earlier in the season, because on that last lap there were many stocks spinning all over the place. But just a great way to end the season. Have a really good race. And Dennis, congratulations on your championship and on your win. And one of the nice things is all those hints that I dropped last week, Dennis laid it on me. Gave me this really cool trophy that he won for winning the main. And like I told him, here it is on the set of In the Pits, where it's going to be in perpetuity. There, we're going to have it here as part of the set for as long as we're on. Thank you there, Dennis. That means quite a bit to me, and so does the interview that you gave me after the race. That was a great interview. Y'all watch it on the YouTube channel. You can just see how many fans that Dennis has and what just a good guy he is. So it's really fun to interview him. Congratulations again, Dennis, on your season championship and your main win. That was fantastic. And that's it for South Sound, folks. That's the end of the season for them. I think they have their banquet where they hand out a little more hardware there towards the 1st of November, sometime around there. So I hope everybody enjoys what they saw over the season. Like I said, I went like 9 or 10 times. I really enjoy South Sound. Next week is Yakadega. Yep, the big fall classic, the 2 days of racing over there at Yakima at the Half Mile Speedway. It's going to be great. They're going to have mini stocks, and like I told you last week, street stocks and hobby stocks and Pro 4 late models, and then the big late model 200 lap race. Yeah, that's next weekend in the fall classic, starting out Saturday with qualifying, and then 60, count them, over 60 mini stocks already signed up to run. They're going to have a B main. They're going to qualify like 34 and then have a B main to get the other 6. And it's just going to be great for a 40 lap main there on Saturday for mini stocks. A lot of these mini stock drivers have never been on a track as big as Half Mile, so it's going to be a lot of fun. And then after that, there's going to be the first of the street stock races. It's going to be a 75 lap race, and the way that the cars finish will help them add points to the next race on Sunday. Sunday is going to be hobby stocks for 75 laps, and then the Pro 4 late models, they're going to run a 100 lap main, and then the street stocks are going to come back out and run 75 more laps, folks. And after that, they're going to figure out who had the best finish from the 2 races by a point system, and whoever had that best finish of the 2 races is going to win 5 big uns, 5 grand, 5 smackaroony, big 1,000 smackaroony, $5,000, folks, and that's big money for street stock racing. So you have to come out to see the Fall Classic. It's going to be something. And then after all of that racing comes a 200 lap Fall Classic late model challenge that is so good every year. I tell you, it's a bunch of really good racing. Whew. Just can't wait. Might not make all 450 laps there. Sometimes they run kind of late into the night on the Sunday of lots and lots of racing, so I might not make the whole thing, but I'll make the whole thing Saturday. Saturday will be a great day of racing. Sunday I get in as much as I can, then Monday back to work. Speaking of Sunday, give me a drink, take a little break here for a second. And don't forget, this is brought to you by Monte Carlo Express Delivery. I mean, they have been taking care of the courier needs of the Seattle area for the past decade, folks. please like Monte Carlo Express Delivery on Facebook. Okay. Well, let's see where I am. That brings me to Sunday. Yes, this past Sunday was wonderful. My wife got up and made me biscuits and gravy, and I really liked it. Oh, man, they were really good. Oh, yeah, and there was a race on. There was a chase race on at Dover. Happy Harvick was on the pole. Seemed to have the car to beat. I mean, he was just outrunning everybody, and it looked like he was just going to run off and just win the race. But after leading about 223 laps, I think it was, he cut a left front tire or had a suspension problem, something with that left front that just ruined the rest of his day. He ended up finishing 13th, which was the first car lap down, which was better than Dale Jr. finished. He finished 17th, which I guess is good enough, because it was good enough for him to advance into the next round. Just his teammate Jimmy Johnson started 8th and finished 3rd. But the thing about that was he did not lead a lap there at Dover, and that's the first time that Jimmy Johnson has not led a lap at Dover since 2007. Larson ran real well, even though he's not one of the chasers. He's looked like the top running rookie for the year, and he finished 6th and didn't get into any trouble. Of course, the race was to drop some of the chasers. The bottom 4 chasers, 13, 14, 15, 16, were dropped. That was Allmendinger, Greg Biffle, Kurt Busch, and Eric Almirola. Of course, I didn't get any of those right, did I, folks? What did I say? Who did I say I wanted to drop? I think I said, well, I think I got Greg Biffle right, much to the chagrin of my wife. Kyle Busch, I hoped would fall out. He didn't. Oh, I got Allmendinger right. That's one of them, and I thought that Almirola might stay in, and that Ryan Newman might fall out. So I got 2 out of 2 out of 4. That's half of them. And the thing is they just ran crummy. You know, they didn't have wrecks. They didn't have problems or anything. They just ran badly and ran poorly. You cannot expect to advance in the championship by running poorly. Casey Kane of Enumclaw ran just good enough to get all 4 of the Hendricks cars to advance into the contender round. And, of course, that old man in the number 24, he advances to the contender round with a win, his 92nd career win. And while we're talking about the chase, let's go ahead and pull out the shrinking chart of who's in the chase. And now they're all supposed to be on the same footing now. There's no seeding, no extra points for wins this round. They all start with 3,000 points. So all these guys are supposed to be equal. Only a couple of them are evil. We know who that is. So anyway, so I imagine if it rains at Kansas, that they'll have to come up with some sort of point system for seeding them all, for lining them all up for the race. But as it is, these are the guys that you have left in the chase for the next 3 races, which are at Kansas, Charlotte, and Talladega. Boy, I can't wait for Talladega. You know it's my favorite. Okay. Also, at Kansas this weekend is not only the first of the contender round races. The ARCA is having their championship race on Friday night there at Kansas. I think it's on Fox Sports 2, which means I won't get to see it. And the Nationwide race is also having a race Saturday at Kansas on ESPN 2. Formula One is in Japan this weekend. The Formula One Grand Prix will be held late on Saturday night here because of the time difference with Japan. They'll be running it during the day in Japan, but it'll be late Saturday night here, which I like. Maybe I can get home in time from Yakima to see F1, because Hamilton leads Rosberg by 3 points going into this race, so it's really close. So we got all that to look forward to, race fans, plus the Fall Classic. What's a race fan to do? Well, I guess I'll be running my BCR quite a bit this weekend. Okay, that's this show. That's this week. That's all I got to talk about this week. So, thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching the dozen people that watch every week. I sure do appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate that you get some of your friends to watch. And I really appreciate the nearly 7,500 views that I now have on YouTube. I cherish each and every one of them. I really appreciate people watching and liking the videos that I put up there. I put them up there for you people's enjoyment as well as mine. So I'll have more to put up next week after I get back from the Fall Classic. So race fans, until then, we'll see you at the Fall Classic this weekend. And hopefully, race fans, you'll tune in next week sometime and catch In the Pits with StockCar Scott. Until then... Thank you, race fans.